My 37-year-old BMW and I are somewhere in Angola after having crossed already almost the entire continent. But we'll get to that later. Don't be fooled by the beautiful views. In this episode, Theodor and I drive straight into the biggest mishap of the entire journey. This is a story about an old car and a stupid guy. Because the good ideas are usually the boring ones. I drove my 37-year-old BMW all the way from Germany to the Chinese border and back through Russia, and now I'm driving down the African continent towards South Africa. Join me on the wild ride and one more episode of EP24 Expeditions. Time to leave this beautiful place after an amazing night, right over the clouds basically. Today there'll be a long day driving towards the Namibian border because I'm almost running out of my visa for Angola. I haven't stayed in the country for that long on the entire journey, I think, except for Russia, but I also drove way further in Russia than in Angola. It's time to head to the next country, towards Namibia. Let's go. Well, you saw these roads going down the mountain, not far from my camping spot. Of course, Theo and I have to check that road out, even though it's not on the route. Small detour. The Sierra da Leba is one of Africa's most iconic mountain roads, which covers a climb of over 1,000 meters and was built during the Portuguese colonial era. It is a gateway towards the Angolan highlands and boasts with amazing views. Okay, little kid threw a stone in my direction. He didn't hit me, but I'll try to find him now. Because that is not even funny. I close Theodor, and now we go and search for them. They're pretty far away, huh? Little did I know that something much, much worse was about to happen later in this episode. Let's see, but I think they'll be quick, so probably won't find it. But I'll make it maybe less fun for them to do it next time, because now they ran already pretty far. It's kind of a struggle. Oh, fuck me, they went through the water. I won't do that. That's commitment. Well, I'll go back to Theodor then. These kids throwing stones, really. They want money. You don't give it to them. They get angry, throw stones. I mean, it's incredible, huh? Already a window was destroyed of my friend's vehicles not too long ago. Anyway, they're gone. Let's see what they had here. Red. Yeah, there they are. Around the tree. I mean, why throw stones at Theodor? What did he do? What did I do? Okay, calm down. Nothing is more useless than throwing stones at people. I mean, at least like steal stuff from me. You'll have something in return. Like, it's already not nice, but destroying, like throwing, what is that for an aggressive move for somebody that did absolutely nothing to you? Okay, my most emotional moment on camera is over now, I promise you. Now we're heading towards Namibia, and it's still about 6 hours ride. I don't think I'll drive there all the way today because the border is supposed to be like, nah, not so nice. So no place where I want to camp. Yeah, better arrive there tomorrow morning, cross this sketchy part of the country. Oh, there's a police control. They're stopping me. Let's see what they want. Hello, sir. Everything good? I think he wanted me to stop. I'll stand here. Let's see what he says. First time in Angola that I get actually stopped, so I'm kind of excited about that. Let's see.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Everything good?
Português.
No, Portuguese, sorry.
Documento.
Passport?
Drive. Documento alfândega.
Huh?
Da alfândega, o documento.
What is Dalfan? I don't know Dalfan.
Não tem?
Huh?
Da alfândega.
What is that? I don't speak Portuguese, I'm sorry. How do you think that I get here without a driver's license and passport?
Berlim, Alemanha.
Yeah, Alemania, yeah.
Junto, thank you very much.
No problem, take care, have a nice day. Obrigado. So police once again. Let's see what they want to tell me. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. How's it going?
Como é? I don't speak English.
I don't speak Portuguese. Have a nice day. Goodbye. Obrigado.
Okay.
Easy peasy. But it's interesting. I didn't get stopped in Angola. Today I got stopped twice. There's some rumors that the police are not supposed to stop foreigners because there were some corruption-related scandals, so they advise not to stop tourists. But these guys here somehow either different orders or they don't care. But they're nice so far, so it's okay. Hey, sir. Thank you. Some bumps. There we go. Whoopsie, bumpy, bumpy, bump. Oh, this is windy outside. Here comes the rain. Let's go. It's only 46 kilometers to the border, and it's high time to refuel Theo, as long as you have some cheap Angolan fuel. And I tried already twice, but the petrol stations were out of petrol. They only had diesel. So let's hope that we'll be lucky here. One of the last petrol stations that are not super close to the border. So maybe if I'm lucky, there'll be some petrol here, but I'm not sure. Let's see what this is about. There's a barrier. But there's some cars inside, so because the cars there, they look like petrol cars, not diesel cars. I have no idea what's going on here. But I guess maybe they just want to control how many vehicles are on the premises of the fuel station at once. Okay, somebody's opened the barrier. Who doesn't work here? Let's see what happens now. Let's give it a try. Another problem is that not only many petrol stations are out of petrol, but also many ATMs are empty. So I tried getting cash twice already, both times without success. I mean, normally, you know, you try to get the cheapest fuel and you save a few cents per liter. But here, I think in Namibia, a liter is about €1.20, and here it's 28 cents. So basically, you almost save €1 per liter, which is a big difference. So guys, this trip doesn't come for free, also not for me. So if you want to support, here's a link to buy me a coffee to make sure Theo always has enough fuel and I always have enough coffee. Looks like I chose the right petrol station to get some fuel because this is a long line, god damn it. Yeah, it's crazy how busy it is. There's a huge line to the petrol station, which continues all the way behind me. Yeah, cheap fuel in Angola, everybody wants it. Luckily I got it 5 kilometers away, where there was almost no line, so I guess this is the last petrol station before the Namibian border. I'll just stay here for a bit to get some internet because there's no reception a bit later. Oh guys, what do I do for you guys to be up to date on Instagram? I still drove back to the town to upload everything. And now it got dark, as you can see. I see nothing either. Okay, the lights help a bit. I don't want to blind everybody, so I can't leave them on. There's some bumps. Everybody's going slow with good reasons here at night. Arriving at the church, I have to find somebody to tell me where I can park. Completely dark and deserted. Okay, I made a small tour here, and lights are on and everything, but even though I called a few times, nobody showed up, and I don't really want to disturb the church people. Maybe they are praying or doing church stuff, so I think I'll just continue a bit. There's another spot marked an overlander, just, I don't know, a few kilometers down the road. Guess that might be it. That looks a bit creepy. Some wall, like I'm entering some property. I hope I got the right spot here, because it doesn't look that abandoned. Oh, so where did you sleep the night? I just found some abandoned, creepy place in Angola. It actually does look creepy here. And slept there. Oh, okay, sure, perfect. Why not? Hope I won't get abducted tonight. It looks like a decent spot. Pretty flat. What about just here? There we go. Not too bad. Let's have a look around. Yeah. Theodors here. I think it's a good spot. Yeah. Nothing fancy, but tomorrow's border day, so let's not take more time than necessary. And now it's time to cook some food because I have to say I'm very, very hungry. By the way, also meet my new frying pan. Her name is Paula. I bought her in Luanda. And I mean, as you might know, I bought Pavel, my pot in Russia, after losing my original pot. Yeah, so now Pavel has a friend. Pavel and Paula. Good team. Yeah, stove is preheating already. And I'll go to my lifesaver to get some nice clean water. So what do we eat today? I got some feta cheese, which is amazing because I didn't have feta cheese for a long time. And I'll have feta cheese with either some grains. Yeah, let's take these guys with quinoa. That was easy. Or pasta, but I think I'll take quinoa. Look at that. That's luxury right there. But in Namibia there'll be again more of our European food, so I might as well use these valuable resources I have. Okay, Okay, while this is getting done, I'll take care of the tent. I'm not sure people use this type of tent if they don't have like a small car like Theo, like on a total 4x4. I don't think I would enjoy doing this. And let the magic happen. Opa, there we go. Oh, it's so comfy here. Eating and I'm watching my favorite YouTubers. Big shout out to Roofless TV, two Austrian guys that always do some crazy exploration missions. Tasty. I'm eating by them my favorite food, quinoa with feta, tuna and tomato paste. It's perfect. Yeah, it's 6:50 in the morning and I'm on the way to the border already. It's border day today. Made it to Santa Clara. It's the border town and it's a bit infamous for many cheeky money changers, a bit of criminality. I'm just crossing a long line of cars. I'm not sure what they're waiting for. Probably the petrol station, I'm not sure. And I'm not completely sure where I'm going, so let's have a look at the map. We're surrounded by guys that want to change money. So the border straight ahead, there's a petrol station here. Let's have a look at that. So a few quests still to do. I need to get a sticker for Theodor which says left-hand drive because that's mandatory in Namibia. Where you drive on the other side of the road, that'll be first time for me and Theodor. And I have to get over the border, get the visa for Namibia on the route. Hello sir. Namibia? Perfect. Obrigado. Okay, that's a border strip. Maybe it's time to turn off the camera in a moment. Which was a bit sad, but I've already got into trouble a few times for filming. I guess we'll look to the border area. Angolan side. Not quite sure where I'm going, but yeah, I guess I'll tell me where. But now it's time to turn off the camera, so see you soon. Okay, I'm in no man's land. I passed the immigration of Angola and the customs. I still managed to put the Theodor sticker right into the immigration office. That's kind of amazing. Nice guys, really. Everybody was interested in the journey. And now we're driving to the Namibian side of the border, so let's go. Now this is also interesting. I'm switching over to the other side of the road now. A small confusion, because you have to drive on the left-hand side, and this is where the road divides. Okay, my sticker quest wasn't very successful, so I built one myself. Here we go. I made it into Namibia. This is exciting, and we're driving on a very unusual side of the road for Theodor and I. Yeah, I feel a bit insecure driving on the left. New experience. And here on the left-hand side, right-hand side, I'm very confused. This is a shop that might sell me a sticker, which is a bit more professional than my short-term solution for the left-handed drive. Okay, not successful with stickers so far, but I asked some locals and they recommended me this shop, the Oshikango Hardware. So let's go and check if that will be a bigger success. That's good, huh? Yeah. Yeah, hardware store is a good choice. On the sticker. A lot of stuff here, my god. Yeah, very, very big in emptiness here. Endless straight roads with absolutely nobody around. Of course, a good moment to have a little drone session here just to give a perspective on this wild, big openness. But it's beautiful. Little did I know that something very, very bad was about to happen, only moments later. There we go, drone is packed again. It's a little bit of work to get all this done with the drone, put the phone inside, fly it, make sure the batteries are full, the SD card is inside, the memory isn't full. Optimally the card is empty and the battery is full, but sometimes it's not the case. But luckily I'm quite self-sufficient because I have a charger that charges my old style Air 2 fly batteries. I think the new DJI batteries have a USB port included, but I have an old drone, so it doesn't. Perfect. Let's charge it. I also have a second battery, so I can fly some more, but I think we had enough shots of this open straight road because I don't think I'll be changing anytime soon. Okay, something is wrong. The oil lamp is on and I lost power suddenly. That's not good. Let's check that out. Theodor, what's happening? My dear friend. Oh god, never had that before. What's going on, Theo? There was no sound, nothing. Everything looks okay here. But the oil lamp, that's super strange. Nothing visible from the outside. Of course, it's also great because I have no reception, I have no phone. Let's check the oil level. looks fine. It's full, as usual. Well, since everything looks fine, I will give it a try to start him. Well, that doesn't sound good. Okay, stay cool. I have no idea what's happening. He doesn't start. We're standing here somewhere in the middle of nowhere. I have no SIM card, and I guess if I would have one, it wouldn't help because I don't think there's reception here anyway. And something seems to be seriously wrong with Theodor. For the first time on this tour, since 55,000 kilometers. So what I want to do now, the worst thing that could happen is that the timing belt tore. Which I think I would have heard more, but I guess if it tore, then the valves will not move in here. So I hope I can somehow put the camera so that I can see them. Yeah, there we go. And I'll try starting the car while checking out the footage on my phone and see what happens. Okay, let's see if something moves here now. Doesn't. That's extremely bad. I have to say I'm very worried. It might be the timing belt. I mean, I guess it is, because somehow there's no connection between the valves and the engine, which is turning when I try starting the car. So that might be serious. I mean, I changed the timing belt before starting on the tour last year, so it's not old. The timing belt sits here, so not that easily to access, but I'll try to maybe remove the cover a bit to have a look. Of course, everything is very hot here. But here's the cover. Yeah, the timing belt is completely loose. Worst case scenario happened. That could be the end of the engine if I'm really unlucky. Anyhow, I promise you one thing. It's not the end of Theodor. I promise you. Promise you. Theodor, I promise you. No matter what happens now, we'll get you back. But this will take a while. Now, I will have a look on Overland if I can see a workshop somewhere. But I guess the idea will be that I'll have to find somebody to tow me at least to the next settlement, so we can have a first look what to do. Damn, this is really not good. So there's some settlements shown here, not a lot. Here, that looks pretty promising. There are many workshops here. Okay, I'll have a look into this and keep you up to date in a moment. Hey guys, I have some engine problems. My timing belt broke. Okay, I talked to this guy. He's driving in the direction I wanted to go to. And he's telling me I should rather go in the other directions towards Oshataki, which is about also 2.5 hours ride from here. Because there's this direction, there's not much going on, and it'll be hard to find spare parts, and the direction I come from is basically towards civilization, so it might be the better option. So basically the problem is if the timing belt is broken, there's a high chance I destroyed all my valves because they get squashed by the pistons, as far as I understand, because then the timing is not right anymore, because normally the valves open, the pistons come, and it's all synchronized, but if the timing belt is not there, the synchronization is gone because the valves don't get moved anymore, and okay, Abraham here stopped, and he'll tow me now to the next settlement where I can get a lodge, where I can get some internet and orientate myself. So let's go. Okay, let's go. That feels strange. I don't like getting towed. Strange feeling. I guess now the idea is that I'll get into safety, have a place to sleep, have a place with internet, most importantly, to do some further research. By the way, it's 67 kilometers to the town that we're heading to now. It'll be a while. Okay, 46 kilometers to go. It's working pretty well. I mean, the trick is basically you have to make sure that the rope always stays taut. As soon as it gets loose again, there'll be a big bump. And I don't think the Toyota likes it, since we also don't have a good place to connect the rope to. With the Hilux, somehow some parts are missing. But I think we kind of figured it out, and yeah, it works pretty fine. Okay, we made half. Still 31 kilometers, even a bit more than half. Going well, if you can call it that way. Okay, I came up with a plan. Plan is drive directly to the lodge, and then I will do some research. I will use my network. I will call my friends and make sure Theodor comes to a specialized workshop that is specialized on this type of problem. Because the problem is pretty clear, timing belt problem. I don't need a diagnosis from a workshop, and I also don't want some, workshop which is not specialized on these types of things working on Theodor's engine, because Theodor means a lot to me.
There's a friend of mine here.
Repeat, please.
The friend of mine here whom I was connecting to, he said we will find him there, then he will direct us where we are going to get help.
Okay. Okay, arriving at the Buffalo Lodge. That'll be my mission of control with some Wi-Fi. A shower. Theodor and I are in safety, found some internet, but now the real challenge begins. What shall we do? Tune in next Friday to find out. Make sure to hit this subscribe button if you enjoyed the video, give it a like, and I'm happy for any type of feedback in the comments. Thanks a lot for being part of the adventure.